What's going on, everybody? Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'll be reacting to an artist called, I think it's Yoonmirae, is how you say her name? I apologize if I'm butchering that name. The name doesn't sound familiar, and the frame we have right here, I'm looking at the girl, she doesn't look familiar, so I don't believe I've reacted to this before. This was recommended from a fellow Patreon member, and she's usually in Live Request Wednesdays, but this submission is just a little bit longer than that 6-minute mark, so she was wondering if I could do it over here, and I'm happy to oblige. So yeah, we're gonna check it out now. But I don't have any context. Yeah, we're going into it blind. This could be anything. I'm assuming it's about hip hop because the title of the video is called "Do You Like Hip Hop?" And you know, that kind of almost makes me want to answer that question. Do I like hip hop? Yes and no. About a year ago, you could have asked me that question, and I pretty much would have said, you know, I don't care for 99% of hip hop. I like some of the older stuff here and there in passing, but it's just not something I normally gel with or vibe with. But, you know, taking this year to really explore some artists like BTS and NF especially, and I learned about, you know, some of the depth behind some of these lyrics and some of the clarity that they can present themselves with and some of the emotions and just feelings they can kind of pull out of me. So I guess to answer the question of the video, do I like hip hop? Well, yeah, a hell of a lot more now. I think I still have a lot more exploring to do with this genre of music and just this art form in general. I guess before I give a definitive answer, whether it's just for me or not. But generally the music, it really doesn't do too much for me unless it's, you know, got some creative production elements or some things that are exciting in the world of sound design. But very rarely does that happen for me. A lot of times it's just loops and it's just samples of other stuff. And it's just not, it's something I know I could throw together in 2 minutes. So it, like, if I can do it in 2 minutes, it doesn't impress me. I want to hear stuff that would be difficult for me to do. But I've heard some music and some, you know, compositions from hip hop artists that, you know, has surprised me. Like I said, especially in the world of BTS and NF. The production on some of those songs is just something else, and it's just not easy to do. But I've talked about them time and time again through hundreds of videos. We're not here for that. We're here to talk about this artist called Yoonmirae. So what do you say we check it out? Here we go. They all look so young.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
저는 랩 좋아하는 녹음실 사장님입니다. 네. 혹시 음악을 좋아하세요?
네.
랩도 혹시
아니요.
She says no. I'm assuming this here is Yoonmirae, I guess. I wonder if these people know who she is.
Like rap.
뭐 쇼미더머니
아.
다시 하니까 이름을 잘 몰라도 그냥 즐겨 듣는 것 같아요. 네.
다행이다.
저도 좋아합니다. 랩.
아 진짜요? 누구?
뭐 윤미래라던가.
Yeah, I think that's Yoonmirae. And I don't know if this kid here, even knows if that's her. Maybe he's being polite, or maybe they just have no idea who she is. They just know her music.
윤미래에 대해서 어떻게?
쿠키 원탑 아니겠습니까?
Yeah, so he's addressing it as she's this, not you or this. So I'm assuming he has no idea.
저도 힙합
아 진짜요?
네.
누구 좋아하세요?
기리보이님 좋아합니다. 느꼈던 이제 상처들이나 감정을 잘 표현을 해주셨지 않았나.
빈짐, 이센스.
오 진짜 you're
걸그룹 노래 많이 들어요. 에스파.
Aespa.
오. 네.
노래 하나 할 건데요. 어떡하지? 랩 노래인데?
괜찮아요.
She's like, I'll allow it.
제가 어렸을 때 차가운 시선을 많이 받아서 마음
Cold stares.
많이 했었거든요.
I wonder if something is lost in translation or if she actually means cold stares. It's an abrasive thing to do, just to have a cold stare on somebody. Like, what did she do that upset somebody that much?
뭐 한국말도 지금도 많이 못하지만 그땐 더 못했었거든요.
외국에서 오셨
네, 미국에서 태어나가지고.
Oh, that might be why. Maybe she was born in the States and she moved back to Korea and maybe her accent was a little off or something was, you know, just a little different about her. But I guess it wasn't her first language to learn, so maybe that's why.
놀림도 많이 당하고 왕따도 당했었기 때문에 그래서 그거에 대해서 노래를 하나 썼는데 누구나 자기에 대해서 미워질 수도 있고
네.
혹시 본인도
전 친구나 아니면 주변 사람들한테 상처를 받았어가지고 가끔 우울해질 때 그런 생각을 많이 하는 것 같아요.
제가 몸이 친구들보다 항상 컸거든요. 이제 꿈이 제가 사실 배우거든요. 그래서 배우라는 꿈을 이제 꾸고 난 뒤에 이상하게 저를 좀 싫어하는 느낌이 막 들더라고요. 익명 질문 앱에서 제 친구들이 너가 이제 배우를 할 수 있냐 약간 이런 식으로 이제 얘기를 하다 보니까 제가 정말 막 못할 것만 같은 기분이 막 들고 그래서 걔네들보다 제 스스로에 대한 좀 미움이 좀 있었어요.
This is a common thing, and I'd imagine it's more prevalent today with social media and stuff. You know, I was lucky enough to grow up in a time where, like, you know, Facebook wasn't really a thing, and like MySpace and social media in general. You know, like we got an AIM, and that was about it in chat rooms. But it's before the boom of social media and all of this stuff. And I'm always hearing about this, kind of like the online bullying and everything. And I mean, I always see it, you know, even from my perspective, you know, the keyboard warriors, or everyone's always got something to say, or, you know, you're always going to get those comments that are just negative about how you said something or why you said something or whatever, because it doesn't click with someone right away. And people are empowered behind their computers, especially when there's not a camera on them and a microphone in their face. They're empowered just to kind of write behind their profile picture some really mean, nasty stuff. Now, I'm assuming most of the people that write mean, nasty stuff to me are adults, because that's kind of where most of my content is driven. I know we probably get some teenagers and stuff in there from time to time, but I don't think that they're little kids writing these things or whatever, or preteens or whatever. I think they're at least, you know, late teens or adults, I would assume. Anyway, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm trying to say here is, like, this is a completely different time for, you know, the youth at this point. Everything is fully out there. You're fully exposed at every moment. You're empowered and told, and you don't fit in unless you have these profiles, these social media pages, you know, any of them, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever the popular, or TikTok, whatever the new trending app is today. Everybody is on it, and that's how people connect, and that's how you make friends and do what you need to do. Everybody's behind the screen. And in doing that with young people, like, you're able to really just kind of breed these keyboard warriors and breed people just to be really nasty and hurtful towards other people. I really feel for the younger generation dealing with this, because at such a young age, like these kids are, they're so malleable, they're so impressionable, and unfortunately, some of the things that's going to happen to them is going to haunt them for the rest of their lives. You know, it's going to be with them. I still remember my childhood bullies. You know, like I remember being on the back of the bus and being teased. Like, I get it. Like, I just think it's to a different degree for this newer generation, I guess. And it hurts me here to watch this guy, you know, this guy here talk about, you know, his body image and his weight and everything, and about how he was just, you know, he looks like he just has a bigger frame to him. Maybe he's got a couple extra pounds on him. So what? Who cares? I'm not here to judge, and you shouldn't judge either. What I'm saying is, maybe he doesn't look like the traditional, you know, standards of what a young man should look like, but that's just his frame. That's just his build, and that's just his lifestyle. And you know what? So what? That's fine. That's him. That's his body. You know, it's his thing. But what really gets me, and what really hurts me about what he was just trying to say was, you know, at first I was angry with my friends. I was angry with them for saying these things. Can I even live my dreams? Or it's not even possible because of how I look. And he said, at first I hated them, but then I turned it on myself. I think this is something that's very, very common. I know it's common with me. I know it's common with other people, my friends, and conversations I've had with people. We tend to redirect anger and criticisms and these things that truly dig on our soul, not to the people that said them to us or mentioning those things, but to ourselves. And it's something we kind of harbor, and it's something you do live with for a while. And it's a self-resentment that can be very difficult to let go of. And it can take years to get over. And if you ever do, you know, so that kind of hurts me. I'm glad this guy's opening up, though. I mean, I got to give this kid props for getting on in front of a camera and basically saying these things. And I also understand the beauty standards in Korea, or they have some pretty intense beauty standards. And you know, it is what it is. I get it. I know sex sells. I know that's kind of a thing. But I mean, at the same time, like, what are we teaching our children? You know, that they're less than? Is this kid less than? Is he less smart? You know, is he going to be less capable? I mean, this kid here could create a cure for cancer, you know, who knows, you know, like, we got to empower each other. I really hope he still pursues acting, honestly.
또 어렸을 때 그 몸에 대해서 그런 것 때문에도 많이 상처받았었거든요. 너 그런 몸매로 노래할 수 있겠냐. 각자의 상황이 다르지만
네.
가사를 보면서 본인이 스토리라고 생각을 하고
네.
들으면 더 느껴지지 않을까라는 생각이 들어요. 들려드릴까요?
네, 좋아요.
같이 불러요?
아, 같이 부르는 건 좀 네.
오케이.
They got lights. All right, so it's called Black Happiness. I feel like she might know what it is. She recognizes this melody.
유난히 검했었던 어릴 적 내 살색 사람들의 손가락질해 내 맘이 한때 내 바삐는 흑인 미군 여기저기 수군데도 이렇군 저렇군 내 눈가에는 항상 눈물이 고여 어렸지만 엄마의 슬픔이 보여 모든 게 나 때문인 것 같은 죄책감에 하루에 수십 번도 넘게 난 내 얼굴을 씻었네 하얀 비늘을 내 눈물에 녹았네 까만 피부를 난 속으로 원망해 와와 세상은 나를 판단해 세상이 미워질 때마다 두 눈을 꼭 감아 아빠가 선물해주는 음악에 내 혼을 담아 볼륨을 타고 높이 높이 날아가 저 멀리 Love music, love music, love music It goes on and on and on and on and on and on
세상이 미울 때 음악이 날 위로해주네
Hey, so you gotta be strong and you gotta hold on Yeah
세상이 미울 때 음악이 날 일으켜주네
Hey, so you gotta be strong and you gotta hold on 시간은 흘러다녀 3살 내 살색에 짙은 갈색 음악의 색깔을 몰라 파란불을 알려줘 난 음악을 인도해 서로의 기대요 외로움을 위로해 그러던 어느 날 내게 찾아온 기회 마이크폰을 잡아 난 어느새 무대 위에 다시 만나달라 하며 음악과 작별해 13살인 19 난 거짓말을 해야 해 내 얼굴엔 하얀 화장 가면에 써들래 엄마 빛으로 놓게 하지만 아빠는 안 되면요 내 나이 19 멈춘 시간의 감옥 같이 나는 애내 기대 너무나도 잠혹한 하루하루를 보내면 그들의 경고를 무시하고 음악이 그립다고 다시를 시도해도 붙잡힌 안에 밤마다 기도했고 드디어 난 이제 자유의 몸에 서
미울 때 음악이 날 위로해주네
Hey, so you gotta be Hey, you gotta
세상이 미울 때 음악이 날 일으켜주네
Yeah, so you gotta be strong and you gotta hold on Sing it, daddy
My sweet little girl Tasha. I guess I can give you a little skit on life, I guess. Talk about the good times and the bad times. You got to be able to blend both of those in your life. You have to know and you have to believe with all your heart that things will always get better. So just keep your head up, keep your faith, and be strong. Never let nobody tell you that you can't do it, because it can be done.
Sometimes it's hard to see all the good things in your life. And I know it hurts sometimes, but you gotta be willing to try. Sometimes it's hard to see all the good things in your life.
But you gotta be strong and you gotta hold on One love music
Oh my god. All right, so I'm assuming there's more to the video, so they're going to do a little interview as to what they think the song meant to them. I want to give my 2 cents before I get distracted by their answers or influenced by them in any way. This is it's a very beautiful, powerful song here. It really does. It paints a story, and it really kind of shows some of the truthful hardships that she went through. I touched on some of Korean's beauty standards, or at least what I know of them. I know they're kind of intense. I don't know all the ins and outs of them. But Yoonmirae here decided to dig a little bit deeper into them. And I know a lighter complexion is almost preferred as far as like beauty standards goes. So having, I think her father must have been like, I don't know, African-American, I'm assuming, because they were born in the States. it gave her, you know, a darker complexion, and she felt less than, and that's maybe where she got some of those cold stares from. And then obviously learning Korean and probably having a bit of an accent as well when she was just getting acclimated, probably also gave cold stares as well. But as the song keeps going on and as she keeps doubting herself and stuff like that, the message behind this just seems positive about kind of holding on, staying strong, and believe that real truth is going to come and that things will get better. I like the fact that she shared a story about, you know, when she was young from 13 to 19 and doing everything she could to, you know, make her complexion lighter, you know, by wearing makeup and stuff like that until she finally, I think at the age of 19, decided not to. The line about her crying into a white bar of soap, that was strangely powerful as well. I mean, I can only just imagine this poor little girl that's just doubting herself and feeling less than and trying to erase what she can't erase. And there's no need to erase that just because somebody else is making you feel like you're less than. That really breaks my heart. It really does. Just thinking about that. And so that one phrasing, that one line there kind of stuck with me, and it just, I don't know, it just broke my heart a little bit. Having her dad, who I'm assuming that was, who came on to do the little skit, the life lessons thing there, man, that felt really wholesome and really sweet. And that's when we start to see this young gentleman here kind of break down a little bit too. The tears started coming down from his eyes. And yeah, the song itself it's beautifully positive. It paints a very vivid picture of some of her upbringing and some of the things that she needed to do, whether that was washing her face with soap, bars of soap to try to get a lighter complexion, or wearing makeup to look lighter or whatever. It just breaks my heart. But I like the way this song swings around, and I like the positive, actual upbeat message about just loving yourself and just believing that things are going to get better. These resentments that they talked about in the beginning, you know, holding on to those resentments from the criticisms and the bullying you get from everybody else. You know, as this young gentleman outlined, you know, sometimes you take that within, you know, you don't get mad at your friends or your supposed friends or whoever it is. You get mad and upset with yourself, and you hold on to those resentments, and it literally eats you up. And I think that's what's really happened on this guy here. I mean, you could see him break down when it basically said, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Like, believe in the positivity, believe things are going to get better. This is a hip hop song I can get behind. But I'm assuming we're going to hear from the young people on this couch now. So let's check it out.
어땠어요? 오, 재밌네.
기가 막히네요.
Thank you.
누군지 알아요.
진짜요?
얼굴을
Oh, she like realized it when she heard the melody. She's like, I know who you are. I've heard your stuff before. That's cool.
몰랐어가지고 자주 뜨는데 깜짝 놀랐어요.
really? 방송을 많이 해야 돼.
너무 슬펐어요. 그 아버지께서 하시는 말씀을 그게 좀 많이 뭔가 저도 아빠한테 듣고 싶은 말이었던 것 같아서
Yeah, that was so touching.
했어요.
Are you crying? Oh my gosh. 울어요.
에이,
Don't cry. 왜 울어요?
뇌에 뭐가 들어가서
힘이.
막 손가락질을 한다, 그런 가사가 있었는데, 사람들의 시선이라는 게 다 저를 약간 미워하고 그런 느낌이 들 때가 저도 있었거든요.
네.
근데 이제
Hateful.
친했던 친구인데 뭔가 나를 싫어하는 거 아니겠지? 약간 이런 이제 고민도 됐고, 약간 그럴 때 이제 그런 손가락질을 한다는 그런 가사가 좀 제 상황에 조금 비슷하지 않았나.
어떡해. 어떡해. 솔직히 제가 너무 힘들어서 만든 곡이었는데 다른 사람들도 이 곡을 듣고 조금 힘이 났으면 좋겠다 했었거든요. 근데 지금 노래를 하면서 행복을 주기 위해서 노래를 했는데 내가 행복을 더 받은 것 같아요. 그래서 너무 미안하고 죄송스럽네요. 제가
아니.
행복을 줘야 되는데
Nah, she's getting all worked up.
내가 뭐라고 해도 love yourself. You are everything. Believe in yourself.
네.
영어 너무 많아요?
정리하고 있습니다.
I believe in you.
Me too.
Yes! 진짜 음악 하기 잘했다 생각이 들어요. 이런 순간들 때문에 너무너무 감사해요. 진짜 thank you so much.
안녕하세요.
sorry.
티슈
Thank you.
사장입니다.
네.
이 곡을 함께 작업한 프로듀서이기도 해요. 우리는 어떻게 가장 솔직하게 우리 생각을 담아내냐 이런 거에 많이 고민을 하거든요. 자신만 아는 거잖아요, 아픔이란 거. 그 겪은 거와 자라온 과정을 그냥 솔직하게 썼어요, 둘이서. 그때 또 아버지까지 녹음실에 와주셔가지고 그 어떤 래퍼보다도 더 멋진 말을 그냥 프리스타일로 해주신 거예요. 저도 사실 예전에 랩을 했었거든요. 지금도 하고 있지만. 그래서 힙합 음악이란 거 다 싫어할 때 우리 막 힘들 때 음악 방송에서 1위를 했을 때 그때 솔직히 되게 으쓱했어요. 얘네들 나 안 된다 그랬지, 나 봤어, 나 1위 했어 막 이러면서 막 나를 믿지 못한 사람들이 욕을 했을 때 아버지가 너무 훌륭하고 축하하는데 1위를 주고 상을 줬다고 네가 이렇게 행복해하면은 그 사람들이 너는 더 이상 가치는 없어 할 때 너는 그럼 불행해져야 된다고 말씀해 주셨어요. 약간 휘몰아치는 느낌이 있었어요. 그때부터는 아 이게 더 중요한 게 있구나. 그래서 말씀드리고 싶은 거는 중심을 잃지 않는 단단한 사람으로 성장했으면 좋겠고 그럴 것 같고 잘 될 것 같아요. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
파이팅!
감사합니다. Let's go.
That's a cool little message there from the producer as well. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what exactly is a producer and what does a producer do? I'm sure some of you might know this, but you might not know the intricacies of really the psychology behind producing and what you do. When I produce for artists or when other, when bigger producers come through and produce for their artists, what they'll do is they'll have sessions with them before you even take out any music. No sheet music, no instruments, no nothing. You literally just sit with a band and you hear about what their vision is, what they're trying to make readable, what they're trying to say, and then you start to think of different coherent ways to make their vision come to life. Obviously, the band is writing most of the music. What the producer's job is to put that special touch, that little bit of layering, and that final kind of like outside ear just to help them fine-tune their sound and help them fine-tune their voice. Not just from effects and audio stuff, but like really just from their messages and their lyrics and how they're reading things. And this can be a difficult subject, especially in a difficult time, especially if, vocalists are really set in their ways about saying things a certain way. The idea behind a producer is you don't want to take anything away from the band or make them do anything they don't want to. You want to be, you want to have an open ear and be objective and susceptible both to all the different ideas and just try and find a way for them to bring it to life. I think it was kind of cool for the producer to come and sit down and explain a little bit behind it as well. He explained some of his scenarios and some of his, issues. And winning that award, I think that was kind of a cool speech as well. When he said, I won that award and I was now #1 and I could tell all my other haters to go and suck it, he had some valuable advice from his father as well. And that advice was, you can't pin your worth on the value of anything that you do. It's a collective whole. The big picture is much larger than that. And when the next award comes along, or the next big band comes up, the next big thing comes up, and you don't win that, people are going to say, well, they phased out, or they're a one-hit wonder, or their talent's gone, or they're whatever the case may be. And you can't put all of your worth on that because you'll stew in that emotion as well. These are some very wise people. Both the producer, who I forget his name, and Yoonmirae here.
Be happy!
Such a positive message, and you could tell it means a lot to both of them. That's a great producer to work with. Because she probably had some actual message. She probably came into the studio and says, hey, this is what I want to do. This is the song that's very close and personal to me. I want to make sure this is the most readable song and it comes across live. Now, in these pop acts and stuff like that, a lot of times the producer's writing all of the music. So it's up to them to create the tone of the song, which is just a totally different level. So on one line, they're essentially in the same band, if you want to think of it like that. But it was cool of him to share that story as well, because the song meant a lot to him as well.
What a sweetie pie.
It's a powerful video, man. ODG, you were a kid once. I guess that's the name of this YouTube channel. Yeah, because it's not Yoonmirae. Yeah, okay. I wasn't expecting this. I kind of thought this was going to be a music video. I didn't think it was going to be a live performance just from the frame when I opened up the clip. But yeah, powerful stuff. And I think I touched on a lot of things that I wanted to here with talking about, what it's like for the youth of today, or what I imagined it would be like for the youth of today. And I think a big thing, one thing that people just kind of harp on, and it really comes down to physical appearance, whether that be your overweight or your skin complexion or whatever it is that you think is holding you back. It's just, it's you. You know what? And you really just, you can't care about what other people think. And especially those people that are going to be like that. If they can't see the beauty behind the first page, the hardcover of your soul, like they're not worth even your time anyway. And chances are they're probably hurting themselves too. And they're just regurgitating what's been said to them in one way or another to try to make themselves feel better. It's just one stupid and horrible cycle that like we just haven't seemed to get over. And with the age of the internet and everything, it seemed to really amp things up quite a bit. But on the other side of this argument, you know, because we live in the age of the internet, we have artists like this. We have artists like BTS. We have artists like NF that are coming out and actually putting some substance behind their music and really touching people and making them think. And it's absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed this one. I really did. Beautiful, kind of heartbreaking, but I love the positive message, and it's great to see it actually have a positive effect on a younger generation. Hell, it had a positive effect on me right now, and I'm definitely way beyond my schooling years. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much, April, for recommending that to me. That was beautiful inside and out, and I absolutely loved it, so thank you so much. And I'll be back real soon. I got a lot of stuff coming out this week, so you'll be seeing more of me. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye now.